Oh, that's a cool question. Any of these stories I hear, I'm like, oh, this is the important thing, not the pitch that I had in Hollywood where they looked at me like I pooped on the floor when I mentioned a vampire. Like it's very demoralizing not to be understood, but I'm like, well, I know the people who understand me, and that gives me faith that I'm doing something right and I can continue to do it, just not in the Hollywood terms. So,
Sure.
yes, it is the most important thing to me. Hi, I'm Felicia Day, creator writer of The Guild, actor on Supernatural, Eureka, Buffy, all of those things. You can find me at felicia.day, my website, anywhere on socials at Felicia Day, except TikTok where it's felicia.day. And you are watching and listening to Two Geeks Talking.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Two Geeks Talking is an entertainment industry interview show where we interview the creative people from the comic, film, TV, movie, and video game industries. And of course, I'm your host, Kurt Sasso. We're here with the ever amazing Felicia Day, actor, writer, producer, podcaster, streamer, author, mother as well, too. So a wonderful all-around talent that she is here from the
Oh,
Guild and many others that we know and love. How are you doing today?
I'm really great. We are very close to releasing my Kickstarter for the Guild movie, and I am tense and excited and elated and nervous and working too hard, but also not working hard enough. And it's an interesting time to be alive.
Very true, for sure. We're here obviously to talk about the Guild reunion film, which is amazing to see. It's been 19 years since, of course, the series started
Yep.
way back in the day here,
Oof.
if I can use that phrase.
It's true, man. It's a whole adult.
It's almost drinking age. Go figure.
Yeah.
At least in Canada, it is. When you look at how the Guild started versus bringing it back now after 19 years, and you decided this is going to be a fan powered film. What were the first questions in your mind regarding that?
Well, I certainly didn't even think about going to Hollywood with my story. Hollywood didn't make the other seasons. They weren't going to make a better version of this movie. So, and especially since I've been in Hollywood developing and producing and doing all these things for so many years, and nothing ever came out of it that I was as proud of as the things I make on my own. So I just decided we're not gonna let this anniversary pass by without a celebration. And the biggest way to celebrate is to get the gang back together and make one more big statement about the world and, us in it. So, I did approach it in a way that hopefully will please everybody in that it's relevant to nerds and geeks today
Mhm.
and also retains the core of what people loved about the show, which was the dysfunctional friendship between these characters who were brought together around nerdy activities. So I think people will be very, very happy. But I did spend almost all of last year developing, tinkering with ideas. And when I finally stumbled upon what I really loved the most, I knew I had a hit. We had a read through of it. The cast laughed so much. It was like we picked up yesterday from where we left off. And I was like, great. I'm going to ask people to support this because I think it's worth supporting.
You've had so many different careers and different job opportunities regarding, of course, it's listed in your lower third. I'm not going to reiterate all of them here, but
It's a lot. I
it
love
is
it.
a lot.
You did
It's
a
like,
great job.
your website was very concise. I appreciate that information.
You're welcome.
As a mom, author, and actor, how do you practically prioritize your day now? What gets time, what doesn't, and how has that changed the way you approach both your writing and on-camera work?
Yeah, well, on camera, I have no control over except for this movie. And I think that lack of control has been always a frustration for me. I've never really fit into Hollywood, even at my highest of achievement levels. And that's okay. Everybody's not for everybody. I like to tell my daughter, she's going to go to a camp, and if you find one person, you're okay. And I think that's what I've stumbled upon that gives me the most happiness. Like, I don't need to please everybody. I just need to please the people who are important. And the people who are important are the people who understand me and what I do as a creator. And that's not Hollywood, it's the fans. And so going to them to make this possible it was a no brainer and something that I'm very excited to be able to do. As far as work life balance, it's terrible. Like, I think just in the becoming a mother was very much a gift in that I was all over doing everything, working from, sunrise to sunset. And in order to be a good parent, you have to show up. You have to be with your kid. You have to spend time with them. And that's something that I prioritize. Like this weekend, I gave myself like an hour or two to work, and then I spent time playing D&D with my daughter.
Oh,
And I took her to the park, and I did a play date where I was like cooking with the kids and, doing all this stuff. So, yes, I had a ton of work to do because this is crunch time right now. Did I want to go and work instead of being with her several times? Yeah, of course. But like, I think my inner sense of like, hey, what's important this Saturday?
sure.
Getting this cookie recipe done. It was really good. And it made me come back to my work today where I have 9 hours of meetings,
Oh,
much more fresh and not feeling guilty about it. So it's a constant day by day struggle. And anybody who's balancing parenthood and careers, especially if you are someone who has to make your own path, like it's really hard, but just keep your eye on the ground and prioritize, and you'll do okay.
and, and this is interesting because when you look across like the Guild and Supernatural and the books that you've written here, is there a lesson that you've learned about how people connect with your work that you directly apply to how you communicate and show up?
I hope that it's just being transparent about process and about struggles and about how you're as important as anybody else you consume the work of. Like I feel like the voice of an audience, your own voice, it's all self-care. Creativity is self-care, and I don't want anybody to just consume my stuff. I want them to consume it and then be inspired to go paint a painting or go for a walk. That really is the true measure of art to me, is what can I gift that other person that they take in their life versus like just consume and forget. So, I want to empower people. I want them to be inspired. I can't guarantee anyone's success. I can't guarantee my own success. I mean, Kickstarter is like we prepare for a
Right.
disaster scenario, we prepare for extraordinary scenario, and there's just like we have no idea what will happen. It's very scary, but at the end of the day, I know that we've done the best work we can. Everything that we're going to offer the audience, which is a lot, is going to be something that I know that a lot of people will be pleased and want to get behind. And so I've done my part. That's all I can do.
It's also amazing to see because it's the, as you mentioned, and I've seen your various posts as well regarding the number one most pre-launched fan film
Movie,
movie.
yes.
Exactly
No,
that.
not the film, not film, but in the
Sorry.
film category, we're number two, but we are
Oh,
number one movie. So that is movie. It's amazing. It's been so much hard work. I can't tell you. I've learned so much doing this, and also being reacquainted with launching something into, you know,
exists.
15 years later. You know what I'm saying? After doing the Guild
Sure.
before, I've learned a lot. Social media platforms are not kind to creators
Mm,
nowadays, and it's too bad. I remember fondly when you would post something and then a majority of your audience would see what you post as a creator. That's not true now, and it's not because the audience would have seen it. It's just the algorithms do not want to show it to you because
mm,
they're not making money off of it. And so that's why I think what's so important is, smaller, more loyal audiences. And
sure.
that's what always been my philosophy. Like from the Guild, we had a chat window in our janky website where people hung out. I still know some of those guys
Oh, wow.
who were in that chat thing. And every single time with Geek and Sundry, we had a janky forum, we had a janky chat thing. Like it was always important to me to allow congregation. And I can't tell you how many people have said they got married off of one of my
Wow.
forums or chat rooms or made a best friend. And like, that's so cool, man.
Yeah. The online communities are great. I used to be part of the Rooster Teeth community back in the day,
Oh, yeah, that was a great community.
and it was just amazing to see like a lot of the people I met there have gone on to do amazing things in the
Mm,
industry, whether it's TV, film, or comics for that matter.
yeah.
Um, and this kind of goes back to just how the communities have evolved in these past basically 20 years since the guild started here. What has been like for you, being kind of one of the many faces of the guild and your own creative works? Like, how does that fan interaction help you creatively?
It's the only fuel that I have. I mean, I probably wouldn't be here. I had a lot of issues, especially after I left my company, Geek and Sundry, became a mom,
Mhm.
left the guild. It was a lot to have everything disappear and understand that a lot of the attention that I had was provisional. A lot of the associations I had professionally were not maintained after I was not as powerful.
Mhm.
And it was really humbling and sad, and something that I considered just walking away from making things for a while. And I will say that my Twitch community, my Discord community, which encompass a lot of the old community aspects of what we were talking about, even from the beginning of the guild, that's what got me through. That's what keeps me here because, again, I don't need to create for millions. I mean, this movie, we will need a lot of support, but if we get 50,000 people donating, we have a movie, right?
Yeah.
And those are numbers Hollywood does not care about.
Mhm.
And that's what has been the through line in my world, like going to conventions. Yes, it is a job in a sense for me, but when I interact with someone who says, I became a gamer because of you, my daughter, came out because of your character on
Mhm.
Supernatural, like any of these stories I hear, I'm like, oh, this is the important thing, not the pitch that I had in Hollywood where they looked at me like I pooped on the floor when I mentioned a vampire. Like it's very demoralizing not to be understood, but I'm like, well, I know the people who understand me, and that gives me faith that I'm doing something right and I can continue to do it, just not in the Hollywood terms. So,
Sure.
yes, it is the most important thing to me. And that's why crowdfunding this movie was the only option for me.
You know, your fan interactions are always fun. I've been to various cons, and you've obviously been to as well. When it comes to
Yeah.
like young creators that come up to you and say, "I want to create, I want to crowdfund my project, or I want to crowdfund, whatever I want to create here," is there any blunt, no fluff advice you'd give them about the emotional and logistic reality of this?
Oh yeah. Well, I would say that don't ask for money until you're ready.
Sure.
You know, and you need to be ready. Like that was something that somebody early on in Hollywood told me that I never really took to heart until later, but you need to be ready for success. You need to be prepared. You need to be the best artist you have. You need to know yourself really well. You need to have your goals really set out, and you need to make stuff and make stuff in order to make the next thing and get better to make the next thing. Don't try to crowdfund when you're level one. Make sure you're at good level with good equipment and
Mhm.
you know what you want and you can prove that you're worth backing financially, because the worst thing in the world would be to take people's money and not have the experience to use it well. Or make the product that's in your head because you just don't have enough experience with a
Sure.
camera,
Yeah.
or if whatever it is you're making. So make sure to do the work and make sure to appreciate and enjoy the process. That for me was also a key in learning how to write better, because I was writing, and I had so much pressure on me, I couldn't enjoy my writing.
Mm.
And I was determined to enjoy writing this movie, which I did because I allowed myself to enjoy the process. I would write and I would throw pages away, but I would enjoy the ride. And in treating my inner creator like that in a gentler, more playful way, I know I got better material. I got through it. It wasn't a chore for me. And like, it was just a gift. So, yeah, that, in long story short, be ready for success, level up, and enjoy the process of whatever it is that you're trying to do.
If this movie becomes someone's first contact with the guild, because it has been 20 years, um, and maybe even their first contact with you specifically, if they haven't geeked out yet on your other amazing works here, what do you want them to walk away from when they look at the power of creators and fans building to get something together online?
I just want them to know that their voice counts. And no matter where you find, no matter what path you find your way to people who will enjoy your work, it's worth doing it. The process is worth it. Whether you're posting fan fiction on Wattpad or picking up a camera and doing some videos on your iPhone and posting them to YouTube. Like if you're experiencing delight doing something, you're doing it right. And again, no one deserves success. No one's entitled to money and fame because of their creativity. It's a very hard world out there. The best actors I know are not full-time actors because they can't make a living, right? So these are the things that you have to realize when you try to turn creativity into a business. The business aspect is a totally different world. And so the best you could do is get your creativity to the point where you're ready and you can be able to turn it into a business in a way that won't take away from your creativity, but also won't demoralize you if the business doesn't go right. You have to kind of like treat them as two different things, or you'll kind of crush your inner creator because everything's hard.
Yeah.
But if you believe that something needs to be out in the world and you get it out there, that is the reward in itself, for sure.
Well, I work as a DIT in the Canadian
Uh,
film, TV, and film community here. So, I love seeing teamwork of going towards like a common goal.
yeah.
And I think that's something, building a good team around you to actually create something unique and amazing is truly fascinating. In regards to say your own team, whether they're behind the camera or in front of the camera here, did you bring the band back together from back in the day, or did you find some new amazing talents that are up and comers?
It's been a while. So as far as the movie crew, we don't have a budget yet, so we don't really know how much we're going to be able to make the movie for. I'm hoping enough to hire really professional
Sure.
people and be able to, we can't really make it in our houses anymore, and this is a pretty big movie, as you'll know on the 20th when I announce what the subject is. But at the same time, yes, we have cast, we have friends, we have crew members, the people who are helping me run the Kickstarter. Several of them were from my company, Geek and Sundry, back
Mhm.
in the day. And so, yeah, and you're right. The biggest blessing is to find collaborators that you want to work with again and again and again. And that is the beauty of filmmaking. Like, I love writing novels. I love being alone and just writing. But there is this sort of magic when you're collaborating with people and your creativity syncs and you're making something better than you could make alone. It is really wonderful, and that's what filmmaking is about.
Is there a question you haven't been asked yet that you'd love to be asked right now?
Oh gosh, it's so hard. I think I've been asked so many questions lately. I would just love everyone to know that I cleaned my closet out, and it was very cathartic. I got rid of old pants, and I got rid of things that I was clinging onto that I'm like, oh, I'll be that size again. No, you won't, because you know what? Eating is fun. So you're the size you are. Stop trying to think that there's an ideal you. The ideal you is whatever makes you feel good. And that was kind of wonderful. So I would just encourage everybody, if you're feeling like you need a little bit of a pick me up, go in your closet and get rid of all your old crap, and you'll see things that you never know you had. And you'll
Mhm.
also let go of identities that you had in the past that you don't need to hold on to anymore. And I will say that it was a big pick me up in the middle of the stress of this Kickstarter.
Nice. Everyone has one person that inspired them on their path to where they are today. Who was that for you?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, wow, I guess it has to be my mom. I mean, she just is one of those people who doesn't consider rules to be relevant in one way or another. And she gave me the freedom to just be whoever I am. And, for better or worse, that is something that I definitely adhere to. I believe in myself and who I am, and I am able to have full faith in what I create so that, plugging forward, getting through the tough parts, getting people on board my vision is just a passion for me. And I think that was all inspired by her lack of rule setting in a way. So yeah, my mom.
Nice, I love that. From a professional standpoint, you are an amazingly successful person. Do you consider yourself personally successful?
I think now I do. I definitely have reached a point in my life where I am mentally and physically okay. And I feel like I'm doing things for the right reasons. And I'm protecting myself and I'm prioritizing my life as best I can. Right now, things are a little bit in crunch time. But in general, I feel like my life motivation is sound and true to who I am. And I have meaning in my life. And, that's all you can hope for in this world, right?
Yeah. And every day you have a good cup of coffee also makes things better too. So,
I can't have coffee
oh,
anymore. I have stomach issues.
I'm
So
so
I can
sorry.
have decaf black tea, but I really should only have herbal tea, but I just am like, whatever. It's so
Uh,
boring.
it is. I'm so sorry. Well, I'll have a cup of
I
tea for
know.
you.
Thank you so much. Or coffee, even better. Oh, I
Yeah.
used to love coffee.
The reverse of success is failure. How do you deal with your failures?
Well, I look back at my life and I think, gosh, every single one of those failures was a really good learning lesson. And it made me know myself better. It made me clearer on what I want to do next. And hopefully I don't repeat those mistakes. So, failure is the way to level up. And I think I was not taught that early in my life. I was kind of a perfectionist and I was super good at everything, but for the wrong reasons. And now I am good at what I need to do for myself, and that's really the priority. And yeah, it was a hard lesson to learn that, you know? You really, especially as a kid, we teach children to achieve for adults' needs, right? But I think that's something that doesn't serve us well when we're out in the world and we need to innovate, we need to create, we need to figure out who we are and what we want so we can make our own path. And it's just one foot in front of the other. But I'm very grateful for having learned a lot over the years and figured out how to customize my creativity, especially, which is my career, in a way that makes me happy to get up every morning.
Nice. Speaking of the younger generation, they're looking at your work and they're becoming inspired to be creative in their own way. And the fact that you have the younger generation with you as a new mother here, you're inspiring them on a creative path, hopefully, in the future or whatever they would like to do. How can they inspire the generation that follows them?
I think inspiration is showing people possibility and encouraging them to be themselves and follow a path that even they might not have thought was good for them. And that's why I think, just showing up and being really conscious of who you are and what you want to say to the world. Like every single person is different. Like I said, I have a creativity book called Embrace Your Weird. And in that book, one of the exercises just states the obvious, which is every single person, when prompted to draw a cat, will draw a different kind of cat. And that's like such a beautiful thing to think about. We all have things inside us that are different, our life experiences, but also just who we are born as. And I think our goal in life, or our eternal homework, is to figure out what are those things about us that we want to share with the world. What gives us fulfillment when we put our voice out into the world, and figure out how to channel that with whatever creative or logistical or whatever career that we pick. Making an impact on the world as ourself and only we can do, that's the greatest gift. So I would urge people to think about why you're doing what you're doing, making sure that it's not for external goals, they're for intrinsic internal goals. And you're going to be on the right path no matter what. Whatever you do, you can't guarantee success. There's tons of people out there trying to make everything every day, and everybody's not going to be an overnight sensation. But the thing that you can do is make sure the work that you do leads to more work and another thing and another thing. And that's your own perseverance and own meaning in your work that will get you through those tough times.
If your life was a movie, what would its title be? And what would its soundtrack be?
Oh, that's a cool question. It'd probably be like we're weird girl makes good question mark. And there'd be a lot of really plaintive girl indie music in it.
Very good. Nice. I like that.
A lot of acoustic guitar lady music.
Mhm.
And then some bad dance music a couple times. Like super like CNC Music Factory.
Oh,
Bad, I mean
okay.
excellent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's great. I love that. Well, Felicia, I do hate to say, but that ends this particular episode of Two Geeks Talking. I want to thank you so much for being on the show here.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me.
For those that want to support you and find this work, where can they find you? How can they support you? And the Kickstarter, when does it start? When does it end? And keep being such an amazing person that you are.
Oh, thank you. You can find all of our information at watchtheguild.com. And the Kickstarter will be kicking off July 20th and running through August. And if you sign up before July 20th, if you will get a free pin if you later back at a physical level. So you can only get that if you sign up with your email at watchtheguild.com before July 20th. So I really hope you guys support. I hope you're excited with all the things that we've planned out for the Kickstarter. We're really trying to make it something that's very exciting to back. And I really hope that you guys are, going to enjoy the journey of this movie as much as I am. Thank you so much.